Welcome back to the recap, y'all. Now, today we're talking about the season finale of Zatima. So, we're talking about the last two episodes. Now, y'all, it was a lot going on, and you already know this episode starts right where the last one left off, and that is with your boy Zach. He's going through it, y'all. He is absolutely going through it. Miss Gladys is basically in a bad spot. I mean, she might not make it, is what we're learning in this first episode of the show. And there were a lot of things that stood out to me. Now, you guys know that we go live every Tuesday to talk about Zatima, so we'll go into more detail on Tuesday. So today I'm just going to be giving you some of my quick thoughts and the things that stood out for me. Now, in the first episode, of course, we like the fact that Fatima came back to stand by her man. You know, she came back there to be with him. Zach accepted her back in, and, they're trying to handle the situation. We're going to see where Nate is going to come through, and he's going to try to apologize to Fatima, but Fatima isn't really open to this whole apology that Nate tries to give. But nevertheless, he did try to give it. There's going to be another instance where Jeremiah is going off on everybody. I mean, like, Jeremiah is not trying to hear it, and he just does not want to lose his mom. Now, it's funny because Zach immediately thinks that he's trying to, cash his mom's check, or he's trying to get her money. But I instantly saw that Jeremiah truly, genuinely does care for his mom. They both just have issues when it's all said and done. But you could tell that this was about him losing his mom. Like, he didn't want to lose his mom. He was going to have a hard time trying to let her go. But, he and Zach are going back and forth to the point where they actually want to get rid of, like, Zach actually punches him. And then Zach goes in to say goodbye to his mom, or not really goodbye, but to talk to her. The doctor is letting them know, like, there's nothing they can do. And it's so crazy because it always comes down to money when it has anything to do with people. Like, where's the human compassion for people these days? Like, regardless of who she is, regardless of what circumstances landed her where she's at, where's the compassion for the person? They're talking about money and her not being able to stay there because she doesn't have insurance. I mean, the world we live in is definitely an interesting one, y'all. So anyway, he's talking to his mom and he's having a conversation with her. And he decides that he's going to go home and change clothes and things like that. And of course, Fatima is going to go with him. At this point, it's clear that these two are about to get back together. Now, here are my thoughts on this whole situation with these two getting back together. I don't feel like there was anything that was resolved. I don't feel like anybody learned any lessons. I feel like we're just, getting back together because of this trauma, or this traumatic situation that's happening. But is there really any real healing? Like, was there really anything that just actually got resolved with these two? I personally don't think so. That is just my opinion. I know a lot of people are happy about the situation, but it just feels like this whole concept of just pushing through it, trying to love someone and going through all this drama is just a lot. It's just a lot, y'all. I'm just saying. But, nevertheless, this show is called Zatima, and, everybody wants to see them together. So I'm here for it because I want to see them together too. But I also would like to have seen some healing or something. And some of you are going to say that with the situation that happens with Zach's mom and with him finally getting some closure, that was him healing. But I don't know. I beg to differ. I just feel like there's so much more to it. But, I'm not going to keep going on and on about that. This is the way the show was written. This is where we're at right now. So these two are clearly getting back together. A few other things that stood out to me in this particular episode was the Bryce situation. The Bryce situation, I feel like I called it. I kept saying that there was something going on with Bryce, that it didn't necessarily mean that he was doing it maliciously or on purpose, but that it definitely has something to do with him and this whole deal thing. And that's literally what it turned out to be. It turned out to be, Bryce actually has the audacity to get mad at Zach, thinking that it had something to do with Zach was the reason why his accounts were frozen. But when it was all said and done, it was because he did the deal regardless of what Zach said, but he tried to do it with his own money, and he used the money. He used the company's checking account, but the company's account is tied into Zach's account. It's just a whole big mess. So he ended up overdrawing Zach's account because Gary from Sisters apparently backed out, and therefore the money wasn't there. So nevertheless, Bryce is going to get this all handled, and Bryce is, it must be great to have a father who can, bail you out of a situation like this, because he's going to go to him to get the money, and, all of this situation is going to be fixed. So there's that. Another major thing that happened in this particular episode that stood out to me, was this saying goodbye to the mom and seeing Jeremiah for the first time sober, seeing Jeremiah in a more vulnerable position, the conversation he has with Fatima. And why is everybody trying to hug on Fatima? I don't understand. But anyway, y'all, I'm just saying that the conversation that he has with her about, letting the mom go, and just about him not being a trash person, just really, it was just a good thing to see. Seeing him sober made you realize that Jeremiah truly is a victim of his circumstances, and that, drug usage can truly, truly change a person, and that addiction is a real thing, But I do have to say this, guys. I just don't understand why we always have to have Fatima fixing all of Zach's issues. It's just, it's just so irritating to see that she had to be the one to fix this, that she had to be the one to run and save him. Why does it always have to be... Never mind. You know what? Never mind. I'm just going to let it go. I ain't even going to say nothing about it. So anyway, y'all, she talks to Jeremiah, and Jeremiah is, a little more open to letting his mom go finally. And, she talks to Zach, and she lets him know. She doesn't let him know that she was the one who talks to Jeremiah. But anywho, eventually Zach, he goes and he says goodbye. He and Jeremiah have a good talk. And Jeremiah tells him that he needs to come by and get this videotape. So probably one of the most powerful scenes in this particular episode, and one of the most, I would say, I wouldn't say it was heartbreaking, but it was definitely heartening. And it was seeing Zach's mom, talk about how much she loves them, and apologizing for what she was doing to them. You could tell that she was probably in the beginning stages of being an addict, because she wasn't fully gone all the way. But the fact that you could tell that she cared about those boys, but that the struggle, the addiction was bigger. It was a lot. And I think Zach needed to hear that. I think that was the part that was going to bring him that closure that he needed, so that he could get through this. So I love that particular part of it. I think that was definitely much needed. But the kicker at the very end, and the whole reasoning why I think that Fatima goes back to Zach, is that we find out, surprise, she's pregnant, and I'm just like, really? Now we gonna throw a baby in the mix too? Here we go. So anyway, turns out Fatima is pregnant. So not only is Fatima pregnant, but we got possible Karen from the other that may be possibly pregnant by Zach. And then we also have, he already has a baby with Heather. So yeah, so there's that. So this is going to be interesting to see, guys. Overall, I did enjoy the season finale. I thought these 2 episodes were solid. I am excited to see where we're going to move forward from here, how we're going to go forward from here. I am interested in seeing how this whole baby thing is going to play out, y'all. It's just a lot. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and get the conversation started down below. Were you feeling this episode? Were you not feeling this episode? Do you think that Fatima and Zach getting back together right now during the midst of a traumatic experience like this was too soon, too early? Do you think that they still needed some time apart in order to come back together so that they could be good for each other? Or do you think this concept and this idea of struggling through love was the play for Zach and Zatima. Anyway, y'all, get the conversation started down below. Let me know what y'all think. Meanwhile, if you like this video, guys, make sure to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to your girl channel. Turn on your notifications so that you do not miss out on any of my future Zatima talks. Now, YouTube says that you just might like this video next, so go ahead and take a look. Until next time, guys, peace.
If you get too close, my baby might let you take me back.